Watkins did a post, and we use him as an example for many reasons. Because his wife, Alicia, is some type of relationship counselor. So he said, avoid posting your personal problems. Your personal problems require personal solution, not social attention. Yeah, when individuals are trying to educate audiences, no matter the any given subject matters, is there in regards to unnecessary conflicts and issues and or problems, individuals are going to continue to speak about how to protect yourself from financial attacks and crimes, basically. So that's why individuals speak about their problems. And it's not even their problems, it's the fact that Negroes want people's lives and or mediocre lifestyles that they themselves cannot afford for themselves. So that's what the universal gag is. It's also a global gag. So he was like, avoid posting personal prayer. We're not going to avoid that, sir, but thank you very much. And can you please ask Mrs. Dr. Alicia Watkins, why would individuals engage in fake and phony parenting assessments and or fake and fraudulent like counseling? And I put the word counseling in quotes because next time they engage in heinous attacks like that, perhaps use your own social security numbers and real identities, i.e., digital footprints and trails. So that's my response to that. So M. Davis said, "Great quote. Teach that thing, doctor. This is what black people promote. They promote debauchery and they also promote fuckery and they also promote tomfoolery, and that's why they cannot stand when other black people stand up for themselves, especially in regards to heinous financial attacks from mental health fraud. We don't call it corruption. Corruption is something that normally starts at the top and surfaces, trickles down to the bottom. No, the corruption starts at the fraud starts at the bottom. And then DC is like, well, you're not in alignment with transparency rules, guidelines, procedures, regulations, nor interstate compacts. So we're gonna send it back to the states, and the states are going to deal with it. How you doing, Mr. Biden? So, this is not an attack or anything like that, but black people, they need to learn if they want something, work for what you want. Stop trying to come from your plantations thinking that you can sit up there and feast off for other Negroes and white people for that matter. So that's what the point of it all is. And Dr. Alicia, she understands what a real assessment is, especially when it comes to relationship counseling or whatever, marriage counseling. Speaking of marriage counseling, I forgot to tell you guys this story here. I mentioned it briefly, but like my aunt and this lady still to this day, if she still have a license, can be out of a license. She was a marriage counselor, quote unquote, and she ran off with my aunt's husband. I just thought that I'll just add that to the equation. But in all seriousness, when these pathetic Negroes, and yes, there are Negroes because white people can't pretend to be black people. I mean, that might some of them might can pass. Next time you engage in any type of counseling, whether it's individual or group therapy, quote, we don't give a fuck, quite frankly, Scarlett. Use your own credit, use your own private or subsidized insurance, and use your own identities and social security numbers. You said, Dr. Boyce Watkins said, oh, require problems require personal solution, not social attention. If we wanted attention, sir, I would be on the mainstream news. And that's why I said, cross your legs, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to tap the mainstream media, even though they perform quite well, better than these fake and whack ass urban bloggers, basically. And it's black people in media, they're probably called coons because they do not promote lifelong generational debauchery or debauchery, depending on where you're from. You're going to pronounce it differently. Let's continue. And why don't people just stay in their lanes and mind their business? Because we in governmental affairs business right now because it's our business. So black people on social media need to learn how to mind their business basically and act like Do what a non-Karen would do. Stay in your lanes and stay across the red lines, i.e., zones. And if Mr. Watkins, I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying, if you're gonna say your personal problems require personal solutions, individuals are dealing with it personally, and we're speaking and using our voices, and we're also trying to warn Black men on how not to get scams, as well as Black women. But individuals have no choice when these Neanderthals sit behind computers and databases, and they're not even real databases though. How's that for supercomputers? Elon Musk. So he goes on to say, not social attention. No one wants social attention because if we did, darlings, we know individuals who helped others who you are familiar with their faces. Production, you're familiar with some of their faces, but I encourage other individuals who do production, never show your faces because mystery is key, darlings. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah, so then you have Raphael Sadler be like, very true. It would be very true if you want to keep on harping on this so-called white supremacy rhetoric. White people, yeah, some of them can pass for Negroes. I mean, a Negro probably have a better chance of passing for a white person, but these Negroes cannot even pass because their DNA and lineage and genetic makeup, i.e., composition, is quite different from other individuals who are from the deep, dirty south of East Bayou, i.e., New Orleans. How is that for spiritual awakenings? In spiritual warfare, basically. We know that people, we're going to call them sheep and zombies, like to play with individuals, ancestors, and heritage and stuff like that. So next time you go to Essence, Felita Hannibal, I hope you leave with several monkeys on your back. And that has nothing to do with voodoo, basically. Now ask the real scientists. Because the real scientists know that other individuals are not going CRAZY. All right, let's continue. People were like, oh my God, that's mean. It's mean to steal for government employees, and it's also mean to steal from service members, and it's also mean to steal from Leos. How you doing? It doesn't take rocket science to see why individuals were very pissed off. So motherfuckers on social media, if they come and they sit up there and they can wag their crimes in individuals' faces, we can flap our government motherfucking tail feathers. And that is how we are coming, darlings. Okay, let's continue. Be like, there's an unfair advantage. I thought you were ready to play game theory. But a lot of individuals who do what's right versus what's wrong, they don't have a problem with standing with and for the truth, even their own truths. Let's continue. Yeah, so that's why they're disgruntled. They want to get Irish Canary. Off of Twitter. They do not like me in real time because then there's fellow sheep and zombie subscribers and followers would know, hey, your portfolios are fake. That's not real investments. That's not what the real big dicks of Wall Street taught other individuals, i.e., businessmen. And if you think I'm lying, check Jerry Jones. I've never met Jerry, but he has the pleasure of, or whoever is in charge of recruiting. Darling, I told you, Jerry, that we will meet again, sir. Shout out to the Cardinals. Right. No, people are probably like, that's an unfair advantage. I thought you said you didn't believe in game theory. Tee. And that's all, folks. Nah. So, yeah, if the career criminals can be on social media, so can the American people. The career criminals, they be like, oh, y'all are so, we're not geniuses. That would be the real mathematicians like Mr. John Nash and other individuals like himself who are not envious and jealous of their colleagues' intellect and or IQ. So, hello, Jordan Peterson. Sir, I know you probably have this fancy title to where you're not able to respond to questions, sir, but I understand that. Mr. Jordan Peterson is not available for questioning the American people. Dear American people, we will hold Well, we will, you know what I'm saying, make a room for a placeholder in case Mr. Peterson is available for further future comments. Darlings. Haha. Yes. It's been such quite some time, Mr. Jerry Jones, and I knew this day was coming, sir. I knew this day was coming. No, Jerry, we're not going to tell them about the fake oil, you know what I'm saying, investments. We're not going to do any of that, but we do know what real oil giants look like. And we know what real residual income looks like. And we know what mineral rights look like. How's that for reparations? I.e., check, check, check. Cha-ching, check, check, check. Cha-ching. We do know what real. What else? Oh, we know what real energy companies look like. Shout out to the original OG oil giants who do not believe in, you know what I'm saying, war that does not benefit the American people nor the United States of America. And them gas prices is climbing. Them gas prices climbing. That's okay. We'll walk, Mr. Jerry Jones, you know, like we used to do in the good old time, sir. Yeah, walking up Walnut Hill, sleet, snow, rain, sleet, or snow, sir. Yeah, we're going to come like that. We're going to do that one. I've never met Mr. Jerry Jones. Other individuals have. And they ran. What did you say, Mr.? What did you say, Mr. Drew Brees? The field of dreams. If you build it, he will come. So, other sheep, Neanderthals, and sleeping zombies will not understand this, but it's perfectly with a P-U-R, okay. P-U-R-R. Perfectly okay. So, as for individuals who believe in real economic growth, development, real equity without sucking the equity out of your homes, darlings, your immovable property. For individuals who believe in themselves and believe in real business, whether or not they're men and or women, congratulations to you. You passed the test. The test of self-love and building real business relationships, that is. Tahi. Yeah. So as long as you're being mean to certain individuals, I think that I'm going to keep flapping these hell feathers because nothing says hypocrisy like, yeah, that type of degenerate supremacy. They're wannabes, y'all. And they come in every shape and size, especially when they're obese, but they have the audacity to tell Irish Canary that I should not be eating chitlins, and I digress, Congress, and I yield back. Shout out to the base politicians in the universe who do not coward and take a motherfucking knee because your constituents are still standing on their own 10 toes and 2 feet, still fighting, darlings. Ladies and gentlemen, that is. Yeah, we don't have to sit up there and lie to genuine conservatives who say, strap your boots, and when we throw you the tools and resources, just make sure you use them so you ain't out there being beggars trying to force charity. So you ain't knocking at our doors when you can't grow and develop and build and create for yourselves. Conservatives never had a problem with urban, Asian, Latinos, Latinas, Vietnamese, Irish. Never had a problem with us knocking on their doors. Ask them. They never have a problem. Individuals know how to write when there any unnecessary issue comes up. And we still have not bothered our politicians. Amazing grace. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I'm not using God's name in vain, but I do wish sincerely that the real holy and divine, who do not curse like sailors like you and I, continue to pray for the sinners and the saints. Now, next time they want to hit federal licks, don't hit it against government employees, and don't hit it against service members, don't hit it against the American taxpayers, i.e. consumers. Don't hit it against OPM. Now, how's that for fictitious OMB? Fake promissory notes no differently that was seen. Hello, Wells Fargo. Rubber signatures is no different. Fake promissory notes. And then when the government came looking for their money, Jay Inslee, John Bellette was in Louisiana. The government wanted their money back, but they came looking for the wrong third party, sir. And why didn't those state agencies who were acting in opposition of the state laws and the rules and the procedures and federal regulations and guidelines, why didn't they return the stolen money like the politicians encouraged them to do when they did those hearings? That was long ago, and at least in or around 2014 or 2015. They're like, we found the missing money. I know you did find the missing money. So I guess OIG in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, excuse me. I guess they're above OIG, right? And I guess now they understand why Irish Canary do not take silent bribes. That's what they tried to do. I don't want the silent bribe. I just want you to follow the state laws and the rules and the policies and the procedures. No, I'm not going to use our weight and use our connections, but just know that we have some. We got many. It's conflict of interest. We don't do what the Democrats do, sir. I digress. It's going to get real nasty and dirty if they don't return the stolen monies to the federal employees, current and former, Mr. Joe Biden. Now, I's tried to be neighborly and I's tried to be friendly. It's going to get very ugly behind the scenes. And it's also going to get ugly in front of the camera, sir. But law-abiding citizens gonna always follow the rules. No differently how we follow the the procedures. How's that for transparency? Now, the American people, they can sense that spiritual warfare is going on. They know that it's still a few good men and women still standing. We're going to fight and we're going to protect the Constitution. We're going to fight and we're going to protect the Second Amendment. We're going to fight and we are going to protect sovereignty, checks and balances, transparency, fundamental rights, bare minimum basic civil liberties, Joe Biden. Ultimately, freedom. Could have freed more if they would not have shut down Irish Canary's command station on Twitter. And I guess I broke the internet. I digress, Congress, and happy Monday, sis. Ladies and gentlemen, that is. You don't have to worry about us sitting up there trying to beat the donkeys into submission, but we understand that they need to let their constituents know that they have been busted and they might as well surrender to the United States government, voluntarily or involuntary. Now, sheep and zombies may think this is a game, but you better ask your boy Joe Biden. You better ask him if we the people are playing. They poked the right bear, sir. I'm not going to be on here long, you guys. And I love to perform for the American people, quite frankly, Scarlett, my dear. Because entertainment has been such a bore. So we decided to bring this in the stage to the American people. How's that for movies? Without a budget, Congress. Without a budget. American Greed 6.0 on steroids, I tell you. Yeah, so that's why they're jealous, because they bit the government's hand they used to feed them, and we want our money back. Now, they gonna be childish? We're gonna be childish back with them. We're gonna be childish right back with them. So let me know, Mr. Biden, when they're ready to return the 80,000 plus that was stolen. Let me know when they're ready to reconcile the student loan fraud, sir. Let us know. And I'm still FEMA. Why? Return the $6,000 by hook or crook or whatever, but I guess they're waiting for individuals to execute a comprehensive report and so they can have their hands tied. Individuals stuffed walls with newspaper. That was so unbecoming. In any event, yeah, so we don't care, green eggs and ham. We don't care, Sam I am. We don't give a damn. How's that for the bear? Bear. The bear saying bears? Is that a Mandela effect? Or is that also a hoax? Now, when it comes to branding and marketing, you know that as time change or evolution occurs, that they'll be like, no, it didn't happen like this. No, it did. Y'all can have your sheep and zombies can have your Mandela effect. Because we think it's a hoax. Talk about sudden false memories. Nah, we think it's a hoax. And I got a lot of things from the past, and I can debunk the bullshit. Not every single bullshit, but we can debunk most bullshit. I say we can debunk most bullshit. So, you guys, if you have any questions for the mock White House press secretary, let we the people know. And if you want to discover what the truth truly is behind the scenes, as long as the information is not classified, we'll be more than willing and happy for you to know the truth, because it is important for the American people to know how their tax dollars are being wasted, Mr. Joe Biden. With all respect, sir. Now, I just appreciate it if you show me the same respect. If you truly believe that Negroes are free, or is it that you want some more Irish slaves, sir? I is not your slave. That's why these sheep and zombies do not like, even in grade school, they had to separate us from the sheep and zombies. And they used to have to bus us. They used to have to take us away, Mr. Biden, and they thought we were going to resource classes for retards, sir. All we was doing was reading underneath the tree. They were teaching us all sorts of things, especially when it came to counting pennies and coins. How's that for economics? Growing up in the projects. Project girl. How's that for your social experiments? We made it out the rat race, you guys, and there's hope for future generations, basically. So that's what the point of it all is. And that's why I choose to pass the batons, because there's no need to sit on knowledge. Keeping in mind, there are real professionals who are way smarter with higher IQ, so use that fancy jargon. Don't expect him to look like Mr. Jordan Peterson. And if he did, he would lie. Now, what does Mr. Peterson say about fake and phony assessments? What does it say about mental health fraud, sir? Stop biting the government's hands that feed you. Those are sensitive programs, and I'm very disgusted. And my stomach is turning. I will talk to you guys probably later on during the week. Let any type of disinformation or fake news spread across these YouTube streets, and you know that you can see me here. Yeah, taking a bite out of crime, that is. Shout out to my base service members. Without you, there would be no me. Shout out to individuals who love themselves, no matter the color and or creed. Shout out to individuals who are unapologetically themselves. We the people are the most powerful 3 words you will ever hear across the United States of America. I digress, and I yields back to Congress. This has been a basement edition of Crowns and Tea with your favorite Irish canary, Envy McGreatly. Your favorite mean girl.